Guys, welcome back. So I'm going to jump right into it today. I'm going to start by priming my eyes with the MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot. I'm just putting that all over my eye area. Taking the Morphe 35B palette I'm using this for a lot of this look, and I'm starting with this lavender shade on a Morphe G17 brush, and this is my transition color. I use this color a lot for a light transition when I do purples. It's definitely a go-to for me. Going in back and forth motions and then circular motions to blend upward. Then I'm going to take this magenta shade and this berry color, and I'm mixing them together on the brush and going again in windshield wiper motions and circular motions with the same brush. And I did this step twice to build up the color. I'm switching to my Morphe M200 and taking Jilted mixed with Urban from the Urban Decay Electric palette. Can you tell that I love this palette? And then going to go in the same area but in smaller motions. I switched to this smaller tapered brush to get a bit more precision. I also used this shade to map out the shape of my shadow because I wanted a more winged cat eye shape. I usually do this step with my transition shade so it's like easier to blend and I can follow every shadow with it, but I didn't decide until this point that I wanted that particular shadow shape, so that's what I did. I cleaned up the edges with the makeup wipe off camera, and then I'm taking the shade Urban by itself, which is like a dark purple, and I'm focusing this on the outer V of the eye. Then I decided I wanted to incorporate some navy blue, so I took my Kat Von D Chrysalis palette, I took the shade Tournay, and I focused this very, very low on the eye in the same like outer V-ish region. I'm going to blend it out and then go back in with the same color to intensify it. And then blend it out some more, but slightly less than the initial time to keep it intense. I'm taking my iMagic Cream Color palette, which, as you might be able to tell, is a dupe for the Makeup Forever Flash palette. This step honestly wasn't necessary, but I took the gold shade on a flat synthetic brush and put that all over the empty lid space. I'd recommend doing this with your finger and then blending it with a brush because you'll get a bit of color payoff. I then took the single shadow from the Sephora collection in the shade Good Fortune Cookie, and now I'm deciding to be smart and use my finger. Lastly, I guess I'm so extra credit. I used 3 shades on my lid, but this gold pigment is so worth it. Oh my god, like this is a PSA to prepare yourselves because literally like powdered gold and y'all aren't ready. First, I took some Duo Lash Glue and lightly dotted that onto my eye so that the loose pigment would stick better throughout the day and not fall down on my face. And then I'm taking the Danessa Myricks pigment in the shade Pharaoh, and can we talk about it? Oh my god, you guys. I'm just using a flat synthetic brush, just from the e.l.f. the $1 line, by the way. I'll have all the products and brushes I listed down below if you like what you see. I'm adding more of the navy blue in the outer corner. Then I'm taking a white Morphe shade that's actually from the 35B palette, but I depotted it to make it more accessible. And I'm packing this on the brow bone and then sweeping it to help blend the edges of the shadow. I'm just going to go with a wee bit of liquid liner just in the lash line. This is NYC liquid liner. Then I'm coating my top and bottom lashes with the Maybelline Falsies mascara. Then I'm taking this beautiful bright gold shade from the 35B palette. It reminds me of like fool's gold. I'm just popping this in the inner corner. Then I decided I wanted it to be a bit more, I guess, reflective. So I'm taking Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in Opal and layering it on top. Moving on to my skin, I'm taking Milka Magnesia, and I explained in my last video why I do this, if you want to give that a watch, which you should, just saying. I'm just putting this all over my face, making sure it gets into the hairline, and then getting it dry, letting it dry. Isn't this fan so cute? I got it for, I think, $15 from Amazon, and it got me through this ridiculous summer heat. I'm using Nivea Men Aftershave Balm mixed with some Rimmel Stay Matte Primer. The Aftershave Balm works as a primer because of its glycerin content. You have to like rub it into your face to get it tacky. It's kind of moisturizing though, and I don't want that, so I'm actually mixing in some of the Rimmel Stay Matte to try and take that away. Then I'm using the Maybelline Baby Skin Primer to fill in my pores in the under eye area and my nose. I'm just kind of tap rubbing that in to make sure it's all well and filled. Now I'm taking this e.l.f. color correcting concealer palette, and oh god, this is when I was like obsessed with color correcting. I'm using the yellow underneath my eyes and all my other high points to try and kind of brighten them underneath my foundation. I'm also using the green concealer on my redness, and I like to set it in place with some powder so it doesn't move as much when I blend my foundation onto my face. I'm taking my Kat Von D Lock It Tattoo foundation, which some of you may know I am obsessed with, and I'm mixing it in with some Shea Beauty oil. And this is actually something you can do if you want to make a really like thick and matte foundation, less thick and mattifying, which can definitely be if you have like dry skin or dry patches. I'm dotting this on my face and blending it in with my Morphe M439 foundation brush. In the areas where I put the primer and color corrector, I try to tap it into my skin instead of rubbing, so I don't disturb the product underneath and move it around. And I'm taking the NYX HD Concealer in CW01 and I'm applying it generously onto my high points. Very generously indeed. Then I'm going to blend it with the Real Technique sponge to absorb excess product. I'm going to set everything with Ben Nye Neutral Set Powder. Ben Nye powders are really fantastic, affordable powders, and they have so many different shades. Like, I really feel like they're not talked about enough. Anyway, I'm just packing it onto my face and brushing away excess. Then I'm going to bake my under eye, upper lip, and chin with another Ben Nye powder. This is the Luxury powder in the shade Cameo. I like it because it makes areas of my face super smooth, and it's the same color as, like, my concealer, pretty much. I'm going to just really quickly pack powder onto my forehead and then brush it away. I don't like to break my forehead. And then I'm taking the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette and the Morphe M523 brush. I switched my Morphe B78 brush for my forehead contour and my chin contour though. I'm using the lightest and medium shade mixed together. I feel like a lot of you definitely want a contour and highlight video. I'll definitely add that to my long list of upcoming videos. Taking the light peachy powder in the palette, and I'm using the B78 to kind of carve out the contour underneath, make it more defined. Brushing off the bake, and then I'm going in with two blushes, both by Milani, my favorite. The first is Red Vino, which I like to put just above my contour, and then I go in with Delizioso Pink on my cheekbones. I use a Smashbox brush to apply it, and honestly, I kind of wish I didn't, because I didn't love how my blush looked on camera. I think it looked fine in person, but it kind of looked like a harsh contour line. I wasn't into it. I'm going to highlight with Becca Opal once again. And then I'm going to take Jilted and Urban from the Electric palette and the brush that came with the palette. I'm just using the flat, fluffy side to apply this to my lower lash line. It applied this color very intensely while also blending it the perfect amount, which I loved. Okay, so I totally forgot to film the brows and lips apparently, or maybe the footage just got lost or something. But I used eyeshadows from my Morphe 35B palette and some Anastasia Clear Brow Gel to do my brows. And on my lips, you can see it right here, but I have the NYX Butter Lipstick in the shade Afternoon Heat. This is a photo that I took on Instagram of this look, by the way. It's the only photo I have of this look, so it's the only one I have to show you. Hopefully it's satisfactory. Oh, and I also applied some Ardell lashes. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this tutorial. I tried to make this one more quick and to the point to see if people like the style of it better. Love y'all oodles, and I'll see you soon. Bye.